There's a Bible verse that doesn't mean what most people think it means. It is taken out of context and used improperly. And it's a Bible verse that most people know. Philippians 4:13, where Paul says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. The problem is you have to look at that verse in context, and I'll tell you why. Because the most common place that I see that verse used is by athletes in sporting events. You know, I'm going to win this game because I can do all things through Christ. I'm going to score this touchdown. I'm going to make this basket. I'm going to get a home run. That's not what Paul's saying. In fact, Paul's not even saying that you can do all things through Christ. And you may be thinking, wait a minute, you just quoted that verse and that's what it says. Yes and no. You have to look at the context that the verse is in, because Paul isn't saying you can do anything through Christ's power. You see, if you go back a few verses before, Paul has just listed a bunch of things that he's endured, hardships. And he does this in multiple places in his letters. He talks about that there have been times where he was on his missionaries that he was hungry, where he was tired, he hadn't had enough sleep, where he had been imprisoned, he had been beaten, he had been shipwrecked, he had been literally stoned, and they thought he was dead, and they took him outside the city and dumped him like he was a dead body. And then he says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I think a better translation of this verse into English might be, I can do all these things through Christ who strengthens me. I can endure the hardships that I have in spreading the gospel because I get strength from Jesus. I can endure being put in prison. I can endure being beaten. I can endure being stoned because of Christ Jesus. See, that's what Paul really means there. He doesn't mean you can get the job you want through Christ Jesus. He doesn't mean you can get the sports car that you want. He doesn't mean you can win the football game. He doesn't mean you can be popular. He doesn't mean you can do anything through Christ. He means you can endure hardship. You can get through tough times. You can endure persecution. Because of the strength that he gets from Jesus. Because he is in Jesus. Because he knows he is eternally saved. Because he knows the penalty for his sins has been paid. So, the next time you come across this verse, whether it's you reading it in the Bible yourself, or you see a football player with Philippians 4:13 below his eyes. Think about what this verse really means and what Paul was really saying.